In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the number one secret to making money on the internet. And I'm going to be talking about the most valuable resource that we have as online entrepreneurs. And yes, it's even more valuable than money. When I learned this secret a couple years ago, it completely changed my business. I went from somebody that was a complete entrepreneur, somebody who just dreamed about making good money online but could never quite crack the code, into now where I make around $6,000 to $10,000 per month, largely because I understand this one fact. Now, I know that I sound ridiculous, but I want you to bear with me because I do have a really important point to be making. So make sure you watch this video. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Is this the secret to making money on the internet? No matter what your strategy is online, everybody is fighting for the most valuable resource of all, which is a person's time. So whether you're building an email list to send people email messages, or you're building out YouTube videos, or you have a following on Twitter or Facebook, or you're growing a blog, it does not matter. Your main goal in the end is to get people's time. Now, I totally understand if somebody said, no, wait, Brendan, money's more important than attention because that's the goal. But let me ask you this. Are people willing to spend money to get people's attention? Of course they are. If you look on YouTube, there's a guy named Tai Lopez. He literally spent millions of dollars on YouTube advertising to get people's attention. And then if you go to Google AdWords, there's people spending thousands upon thousands of dollars every single day to get eyeballs and attention to their offers. So the number one resource by far and the most limited, most scarce resource we have is our time. So once you understand that, instead of looking at it from a money perspective, it's actually way more lucrative to first focus on getting someone's attention first and then leveraging that attention to make money. The currency of time on the internet is also commonly referred to as traffic. Now, there are essentially two different types of traffic. There's traffic that you control and traffic that you don't. Okay? Now, first of all, we're going to focus on what's the traffic that you don't control. So basically, traffic that you don't control is any traffic where you need a third-party entity to actually supply that traffic to your content. So something like a blog would be an example of traffic that you don't control because we're relying on Google and other search engines to get traffic and to siphon traffic back to our website. So that's not to say that you can't get lots of traffic with traffic sources that you don't control. It's just to say that you don't have a control of how much traffic you get and you're really relying on other sources to consider your site valuable. Another great example of a traffic source that you don't control is a YouTube channel. So as my channel as an example, in the last 30 days, I got around 87,000 views. Now, I wouldn't be able to say, hey, YouTube, please send me another 200,000 views next month. I want more views. It doesn't work that way. I have to rely on Google and YouTube to decide how much traffic to send me. Now, on the other side of the coin, 87,000 free views is pretty awesome stuff. So even though I couldn't control it, it still led to a really good result. So basically my point here is that traffic that you don't control can still be very powerful and very beneficial. However, it's a lot more challenging to scale and it's definitely a lot harder to predict and rely on. Traffic that you control is a lot more reliable and it's a lot easier to scale because when you get traffic that you control, you know pretty damn near to the visitor exactly how much traffic you're going to get at around what price point. So essentially, traffic that you control is traffic that you buy. Now, of course, the advantage with traffic that you control is that you can rely on it pretty much entirely. And if you know your business numbers, you know how much the visitor costs and how much you make per visitor, then you can essentially scale and grow as big as you want very predictably. The downside is that, of course, traffic that you control is going to cost you money. Now, in business, like I was just alluding to there, the real key here is that if you're going to use traffic that you control, which I highly recommend, then you essentially just need to know your two numbers. So the first number that you need to know is how much does it cost to gain each new visitor? So if you think of this as the cost of acquisition, how much does it cost you for a visitor? The second question that you need to ask yourself is how much do you make from an average visitor? Okay, so those are your two numbers. How much does it cost to get a visitor? How much do you make per visitor? As long as you can make $2 for every $1 you spend, you can essentially grow as big as you want to, because you know that every single dollar that you put into your business, you're going to be getting more than that dollar back in return. So let's take a look at a couple examples of audiences that have been grown and are extremely profitable from traffic that the owners don't control. And then we'll take a look at my business, which comes from traffic that I predominantly control. Okay. So the first example that I want to look at is a Facebook group called The Cult of Copy. Now, Facebook groups are 100% free to create. The challenge with Facebook groups is that you need to actually create content that people want to see, want to be a part of, and are actually going to engage with. If you do this properly, you can build a following just like this group has here. This group was founded by a guy named Colin Thoreau, and this group now has over 17,000 members in it. So over 17,000 people that are interested in the topic of this group, which just happens to be copywriting. Well, you'll notice from the very first post in the group, which the group owner is allowed to pin to the top of the page, that Colin Thoreau is offering you a $50 discount on any of his courses. So he has 17,000 members in his group, and all of these people are presented the offer to get a $50 discount rather on any of his courses. Now, his courses retail for $250, so that's essentially him still getting $200 per sale, and they're all digital courses, so it's pretty much pure profit. So this guy, Colin, has basically managed to create an entire business, make over a full-time income from what most people make just from a single Facebook group, which really doesn't cost him anything to own in the first place. He doesn't need to pay for any traffic to keep it going. So very, very powerful stuff. For absolutely no cost, he was able to make a lot of money on the internet, leveraging social media traffic and creating engaging, value-worthy content that people want to be a part of. Now, another great example of a business and audience that was created purely from traffic that you don't control, in this case, what Matthew didn't control, is the Matthew Woodward blog. Now, I've been following Matthew's blog for a while now. What you will notice is if you look at his income reports, which he publishes every single month, he makes around $25,000 per month from his blog that he built up from scratch. So again, like I was saying earlier, blogs are traffic that you don't control, because essentially you're creating posts and you're relying on traffic to roll in from other sources, from people sharing your content, from Google deciding to give you more and more traffic. And if we look at any of these particular income reports, you can see that he gets around 60,000 visitors. So we'll take a look at this one. Gets around 60,000 visitors from Google. Now, he can't control how much traffic Google decides to give him, but he does know that if he creates really valuable, powerful stuff, then chances are Google is going to reward that kind of behavior, right? So that's what I was talking about earlier. Traffic that you don't control can still be lucrative. However, it's not something that's 100% going to be lucrative. And to give you an example of that, there's a lot of blogs out there that start up with high hopes of making a ton of money online and then just completely crash and burn because Google doesn't give them the traffic that they expect to. What you really need to focus on is if you're going to build a business off of traffic that you don't control, you 100% even more so need to focus on the perspective of the user. So you really need to think about, what do visitors want to see, and then give people valuable stuff that they actually want to see. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is that they create content that's purely designed to make money. And that's a mistake because you're not going to grow an audience, you're not going to grow a following, you're not going to get a lot of Google traffic if your focus is on making money. You're only going to do well with traffic that you don't control if your focus is on the visitor and the audience first, and then you leverage that visitor and audience to make sales afterwards. So now let's take a look at my personal business model where I use traffic that I do control and can predict how much traffic I'm going to get because I buy the traffic to my business. Now, the whole key with traffic that you do control and the traffic that you buy is that you just need to be able to make more than you spend. So if you make $2 for every $1 you spend, then you can essentially buy as much traffic as you want. So what I do is known as email marketing. And the way that it works is that I set up a lead capture page. So a page that is designed to get as many visitors as possible to turn into email subscribers. When I get these email subscribers, which come into my Aweber account, all of these email subscribers are sent email messages on autopilot. So what I do here is I set up an email series, and my email series is around 250 emails long. And after these email subscribers sign up to my lead capture page, they're sent one email per day for 250 days. Okay, so on day 1, they get message number 1, day 2, they get message number 2, and so on for on and on and on and on until they get through the entire sequence. So they get about 250 emails in total. Now, all of these emails in one way or another benefit me, but a lot of these emails also provide a lot of value, which is part of the reason why I get a fairly good response out of my email list. But let's talk about the business numbers and why this business model could be lucrative. So for me, I get my traffic for about 30 cents per visitor. So it costs me about 30 cents per visitor. So I know beforehand exactly how much each visitor is going to cost me. Now, if you look at this lead capture page here, this one converts at a 56% conversion rate. But for simplicity's sake, let's say that this page converts conservatively at a 50% conversion rate. Well, I already know that my traffic is going to cost me 30 cents. So basically, each new subscriber into my funnel is going to cost me 60 cents. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. Because the visitor is costing me 30 cents each, and because my page converts at a 50% conversion rate, that really means that it's going to take me 2 visitors to make 1 email subscriber. That means 50% conversion rate, half of them are going to turn into subscribers. 2 visitors equals 1 subscriber. So really, my cost of each subscriber is 60 cents. Now, in order to build my email list for free and grow my email list on autopilot, all I need to be able to do is make an average of 60 cents per subscriber over the long term, right? Now, my email marketing funnel, the follow-up series that I've created, makes me about 60 cents per subscriber per month. So really, it would only take me about 1 month to make back the money that I spent on traffic. And after that month, all the money that I get from my email subscribers, because I have 250 emails that go over 250 days, all the money that I make from my email subscribers after day 30 is completely pure profit. So that's why my business model that focuses on traffic that you do control and focuses on buying traffic does actually work out and is very lucrative, is because I know my numbers. I know exactly how much it costs to get me a subscriber, and I also know an average amount of money that I make per subscriber that I get into my funnel. So I know that every single dollar that I put into my funnel, I'm getting more than that dollar back. I do have a coaching program that you can apply for, and I show all my students step by step. It takes about 3 hours to graduate, and I show them my entire business model step by step. Now, the idea behind the coaching program is that I literally share absolutely everything that I know about this stuff, so it's quite a lot of information, which is why I break it into 2 separate sessions. So it ends up being 2 sessions of about an hour and a half each. If this is something that you're interested in, unfortunately, I can't coach everybody because my time is limited. However, I do have slots available right now where I can coach a select few people. So if you are interested, leave a comment in the section below. Brendan, I'm in, or Brendan, I want coaching. Leave me some kind of comment to indicate that you do want coaching, and then I'll find a way to reach out to you and we can see if it's a good fit or not. Before I transition to the end of the video, I want to show you a recent testimonial to prove to you guys that yes, my business model does work. It has worked for me, but it's also working for other people as well.
What's up, folks? Isaiah Jackson here of IsaiahMJackson.com, and I'm making this video today as a video testimonial. Okay, I'm making it for Brandon Mace. As you guys know, I know what Brandon Mace does. He does a lot of marketing online, email marketing, things like that. So I know what he does. I'm well aware of it. And I got interested in what he was doing for his coaching, how he was selling that. So shockingly enough, I pay Brandon. We get on Skype, and he shares with me exactly what it is he's doing, right? And today is April 21st, mind you, April 21st. We had our Skype call 5 days ago. Okay, April 16th, it was a Saturday. 5 days after that call, I made $297. Yeah, $297 after implementing exactly what Brandon talked about during that coaching session. I'll throw up the proof right here, okay? Proof is right there, guys. Proof is right there. So, $297, just doing exactly what Brandon says. So, if you're on the fence about whether or not you should work with him or not, just do it, okay? Obviously, what he says works, and it works really well and works incredibly fast. So give it a shot. My name is Isaiah Jackson, and I look forward to talking to you soon.
The main reason why you do want to invest in a coaching program is because you want to shortcut your path to success. So I always like to tell people that I started marketing about 8 years now, and it took me about 5 years before I made any money online. Now, when I started 8 years ago, I was too cheap to get a mentor, and I tried to do everything on my own. And eventually, I did end up figuring things out and getting things together, and I ended up actually becoming successful in building a business, but it took me a long time to do that. Now, if I wasn't as cheap as I was back then, and if I had the wisdom, kind of like that song, If Only I Knew Now What I Knew Then sort of a thing, I would have bought coaching from day one. If I would have bought coaching from day one, I would have saved myself years of my time. So yes, coaching does cost some money. It is a little bit of investment, and you will have to invest in yourself. And no, you don't need to get the coaching to be able to become successful. Not everybody that's successful did have a mentor or did have coaching. However, coaching, if it's a good coaching program, is going to shortcut the amount of time that it takes for you to be successful. So if you don't get coaching, yes, you can figure this stuff out on your own, but it's going to be a lot harder. There's no guarantees that you're ever going to figure it out. And if you do, it's probably going to take you longer. If you do want more free tutorials on how to make money on the internet, I do have a full YouTube channel with lots of videos that can give you some really excellent information where you can figure a lot of this stuff out by watching those videos and applying the information that you learned. So if you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, thank you for watching my video.
If you want a ton of internet marketing videos, how to create a website, how to build a list, who cares? Whatever you want in Make Money Online, I pretty much have all of it. My YouTube channel has over 80 videos now. You can find out what you're looking for, and I can show you what you need to know. So make sure, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel on the right side there, or subscribe below, and get started doing what you want to do online so that you don't have to do what you don't want to do in a cubicle. I hope this has been good for you. I'll see you guys soon.